You're a little bit out of the urban environment and out on the roads. So yes, and Brian gets a hit. Brian says, "Okay, yes, he's here." And you guys are like looking at the map and like get the map upside down and argue about it and stuff.
Then I'm bitching about these old-fashioned paper maps.
Right. Well, all of you are. All your characters are in your mid-20s at most. None of you are good with actual fold-out maps. I gotta say, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah. You should have got my brother to do that.
Understood.
You're right. What we need to do is figure out whether you can do this faster than Emmy Biota does.
Okay.
That's what we have to worry about.
That's it.
And so, what are you going to do regarding speeding this up in any possible way, if anything? What you're doing is you guys are traveling to different areas and leaving the trail, and periodically you're doing the mind scan. And so then when you get a hit, then you're like, okay, he's over there. What place are we near again? Then you go down and you talk about the map and figure it out. Say, okay, he's here. Now we got to go drive there. You could fly there pretty quickly by yourself if you wanted.
Yes, then Rod is right. I fly out there like this.
Mm-hmm.
But once we get to hit, say, all right, put Twiki behind the wheel. Then you and me, we're flying Beetle Express.
Yeah, I like that.
Right. Not without me, says Jen.
Okay.
Can I encourage different people?
I've learned that we don't argue with Jen. Let's go.
We end up with you guys flying there together quite quickly, and that actually will keep you ahead of Emmy Biota for a little while.
Okay.
That we have to assume. Twiki says we have to assume that Emmy Biota is like doing everything they can. They've probably got more resources than we do. They've got the police on their side. We should. We may not have much of a chance. So.
Yeah.
What do you do when you get there?
X-ray vision.
Oh.
Ross?
Or even in-ray.
I turn into Crawl, because of course the best way to meet the original is with tentacles, essentially.
And tracking scent?
Yes, definitely. I've obviously smelt him before, so I can see if I can locate him in this place. That sounds like an excellent idea.
Okay.
He's likely to make a roll for that.
Now, so what's the plan here? Are you guys going to all just confront him, or what are you going to do?
We're going to find him first, and then either Jen. Well, Jen, do you seriously want to talk to this guy?
I really do, she says.
Well, I'll go with her, of course.
And she says, no, you're exactly the person that he doesn't trust. You're the person he ran out on.
Yeah, but no, I'm precisely the person he trusts the most. What are you talking about? He was just freaked out. We mind bonded.
I'm not sure he feels the same way about that as you do, Brian.
What?
Let's imagine
Finn,
you're the mind
like
soldier who. Go ahead, Mike.
Like Finn, you're sort of like his son. At any rate,
let's not assume that's the situation as he sees it.
I understand that, but at any rate, you're the closest to someone like him, so Jen is the face. If anyone's going to back her up, you should be the one to back her up.
Okay.
Me and Brian can take care of the perimeter and alert you to when Emmy Biota shows up, which seems like a high probability at this point.
All right, let's do that.
So maybe Brian fly a search pattern, and I will scan all points with my magic mirror, doing X-ray, whatever else I can pile into.
Okay, well, the first thing that you're going to find is that the staff have all been, well, it's not as bad as if you actually neutralized them, but they've all been rendered either unconscious or subdued, and have been locked into one of the sheds. Interestingly enough, he threw in a whole bunch of bottled waters in there. Like the bottled water fridge or machine or whatever has been torn open, and he threw in a bunch in there with them. But they are locked away. Your X-ray vision will find them first.
Right.
So you're looking around. There's no staff. There's no good old boy running the joint or anything like that. And you're kind of like, wow, where is everybody? And you'll find that they've all been like, they're all huddled in a shed, looking terrified and quiet. And he basically told them that he'd kill them all to death. And so is now there. So they seem pretty intimidated at the moment. I mean, you're just seeing this with X-ray vision. You're not talking to them or anything like that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, he's around here somewhere, and he apparently neutralized the local people. Once you realize that, the whole place takes on a slightly sinister aspect.
Right.
In that he's obviously controlling this ground somewhere. Now, the good news is that Brian still has a pretty good idea of where he is specifically. And where he is, well, he's in the biggest body of fluid that they've got.
Right.
What is that like?
I'm envisioning a pool which is cylindrical. And about 10 feet off the ground, you actually have to go up a ladder and walk around the edge.
Yeah.
And there are various pumps into it and stuff like that. And there's a cover that is it's not that high tech, but it's very, very functional, very industrial cover that you actually roll back. And it's old, so it's not like you hit a button and it smoothly, hums and peels itself down to one end. It's much more old school industrial. You have to actually crank it to get the cover to slide into sections across. Right now that cover is about 2/3 over the pool. About 1/3 of the pool is currently not covered, and the whole thing is a good. It's actually pretty damn big. We're talking about 15 meters across.
Cool. So I tell Michael, should we drop these two off at the ground of the stairs? You said there was like a ladder, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
At the bottom of the ladder.
Right.
And be on our way.
Yes, but don't make that move until we get these people off site. Brian,
You mean the hostages?
You're the best talker. Let's just get into that shed. Well, they're locked. Is it unlockable from the outside without any crawl style ripping the door off the hinges, or
what do you want me to do with them?
It's basically been by locked. I mean that the metal handle has had a solid object rammed through it in such a fashion that it can't be opened without significant force. It's going to take a little, and somebody really strong did this, so it's not like you can just go out and pull it out.
All right.
Maybe they're safer in there than outside. Maybe they're safer in there than outside for now.
They're not. If Amy Biota shows up and starts shooting, they're not going to be safer when they're on premises. They'd be better. I mean, are their cars still here?
Yeah. Although they've all been shoved into the back, so you can't see them from the road. Somebody literally shoved the cars away from the visible parking spaces, and they're kind of in a jumble. I mean, it's not like pickup sticks. Nobody threw them, but somebody shoved them there and wasn't too careful about how well they were parked.
Okay.
You know what,
okay.
Michael? I can just make a hole on the ceiling of the place where they are and pick them out one by one and leave them like 5 blocks away. It shouldn't take much time. Just tell me where to drop Shen and I'll do it.
Okay, the first thing you'll have to do, you are not Buzzsaw Man. You cannot just saw through the roof because you feel like it. How are you going to make a hole?
Well, you said that when I fly, I have the thing. I can. I mean, it's not wooden. The floor.
The damage that
ceiling?
the damage that you do when you fly into things is high impact destruction.
So you
So
think you're
Take
saying
the whole
you could?
roof down
Yeah.
on top of the people inside.
Oh, you think I would damage the hostesses? I didn't think about that. Oh.
You're a missile. When I say you go through walls, you don't just like magically make holes in walls.
Yeah, like I destroy the. Oh. Shit.
With a considerable amount of force, velocity, shrapnel.
Look, Finn can get into the door. I mean, he's super strong.
Yeah.
Do we or do we not have? Is there an operational car that can get these people off the site and home tonight?
I guess.
That's all right. Well,
Okay. Against my better judgment, Finn will go and open the door.
Excellent.
Perhaps not with big pinky purpley nuts.
Right.
That
So
would be bad.
yeah, he'll rip the door off. Everybody inside screams.
all right.
Okay, you guys deal with this. I'm going to look in the tank.
Right. Right. He says, got it. So then he turns around and goes on the hunt, and Jennifer's already on her way to the tank.
Oh, perfect. Then I go talk to the people.
Right.
I'm fully in Silverbeak costume, also.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and roll 6d6. Actually, this is a really shitty place you're in for this. What are you going to tell them?
I am going to tell them the situation is dangerous. They are not to leave the room they're in, and I will be flying them out, rescuing them in sets of 2. If they leave the place they're in right now, I will not be able to take them. So it's going to be them and whatever is outside. So their choice. If you want to run around being panicked, be my guests. But if you stay in, I'll take you out flying in sets of 2, and you'll be on our way pretty soon.
All right.
Your
What
way.
was this soliloquy?
Yeah, well, it doesn't take any time in Champions. Give me that's going to add up to a -1 for your presence. So a minus die. So you've got 5, I believe.
Presence. My presence is 20.
Right. So you end up with only 3 dice.
Oh,
Yeah, you're working against a couple of problems.
all right.
Because they are actually inclined to scream and run all over the place.
I know.
And this isn't
They should
really...
have displayed
This is also not a very appropriate place for your presence.
Yeah,
And
I
you
should
do have a
displayed my
reputation in
powers
your
before.
hands. Your reputation precedes you, but you're not in an appropriate place. They're really inclined to run and scream. And you're not displaying a power.
Yeah.
So, go for it.
I told you everyone I should have come through the roof. That would have been some display. Maybe killed a couple of them, but... So I got a 10.
Actually, you're lucky. That's enough to affect most people. Just enough for them to consider deeply what you say. Or to consider, sorry. They hesitate, they don't run screaming. With a little effort, you can probably... It's going to be a problem, though. They're inclined to go running around. So, despite your harsh words, I'm pretty sure that you're going to chase a couple of them down anyway.
I'll.
Right.
You know.
I'm
What's
gonna
up?
go VPP full force wall, assuming I'm on the.
To do what?
Just
To
to-
surround them?
If need be, but generally for protect. Yeah, to sort of. If anyone does try to sprint, I'm gonna sort of create a.
You're going to be hurting them.
Yeah, if need be.
Right. Okay.
Also,
In what way visually
is it
are
this
you
time?
traumatizing these people?
yeah,
So what is it this time? The hands of Horus or what?
I am not. It's just a sort of glowy wall with hieroglyphs. I'm not actually doing it.
Punt.
Yet.
Okay. No, you're going to have to.
Ready?
You're going to have to because he didn't even
I'm
get
going to
2
have to.
times. So you're going to have to. I'm just sort of amused that you're punting on this one, but okay. Let's see here.
It is hilarious.
Yes. So we have Jennifer as heads for the tank, and goes up the ladder and waits at the it stands at the top and is looking down at the fluid and says, come on out. I'm like you. I have friends. You can be safe with us. Tell me where you're at. Your name's Darren, right? Stuff like that. Darren hoists himself up out of the pool, and he says, I think I get it, he says to her. But you have to help me. I can't make it stop. I can't. It's hard for me to keep to you. He repeats himself. He says it's 2018. It's 2018. We're not at war. He says I need help. I get it. Okay. And she says that's right. And so she says keep talking. Tell me. And so he's trying to maintain. What do you guys do? You guys are sorry. Scarab and Silverbeak are busy.
Finn is the one who.
Right.
Yes.
Ross, what are you going to do? This is where I need to know.
Yes. How do I make this better? Okay, so I'm going to climb up the ladder behind Jen. And it's not a surprise. I tell him, I'm coming up. We can help you. Maybe we don't know what it's like to have found yourself years into your own future, but we know a bit about your physical circumstances. Maybe
He says I can
get you on a level.
Right. He definitely, he's already like holding Jen's forearm, right? He's already got a grip on her. He says, I can feel it. He says, I can tell. He says, can you help me? I can't stop it. And you can see a wrench in his body and like a bulge in his tissue.
We think maybe you need some more. This water treatment can't be really helping you. We've got some of the real stuff, hopefully just on its way. I don't know what they were doing to you in Emibiota, but we've got some of the biological materials they were producing from you. Hopefully we can use those to
give me a he doesn't recognize the name Emibiota. Give me a presence attack.
Okay.
And are you demonstrating your powers at all? Or are you looking like Crawl?
I am looking like Crawl.
Add a die for that.
Okay. Any other dice you'd like me to add? or not.
No. He shouts, "Get down!" and does a dive that's intended to take both you and Jennifer down. As he jumps upon both of you, it's almost like a flying cover tackle kind of thing. Let's see, what's your dexterity? 21?
My dex, yes.
Okay. Roll a die.
I got 4.
Okay, you are quicker than he is. What are you going to do?
I am going to reach for Jen with my tentacles and hold her out and move her out of his way.
Excellent. Well, you've got the timing and you've got the situation properly. He is at the moment. It's so you whisk him out, or we whisk Jennifer out of the way and yourself, and he stops, looks up, jumps up into a crouch, and says, "I'm sorry, I don't know how I can explain this, but I cannot." He says, "But we are at war, right? I mean, do you guys need help? I'm man of war. I can help you."
Yes, there's definitely people you can help.
Says,
we
"Look
want to help
out!
you.
Look out! There's a whole bunch of I've neutralized the people here. They won't be a problem. We can get out of here. Get to the countryside. I mean, if there's any kind of, maybe we can find a radio."
Okay, if you can just hold on here, we can help you. We can find somewhere for you where you'll be safe.
You say, "Wait a minute, what am I thinking? Radio? They don't use radio." He looks up at you and he says, "There's no enemy, right?"
You can. You're going to have to start working those things out for yourself, because it's a crazy world, and it's no simpler than it was back in the 40s and 50s. But we can help you.
All right. He says, all right. I got it. He says, okay. So he's going with you tentatively. All right. So you guys are proceeding over to maybe toward the front of the compound where Tweaky is presumably pulling up with the truck any minute now, right? You'll notice that there's a great deal of fuss and bother over where the people were held captive. There are two superheroes transporting any number of people away, kind of voluntarily.
Well,
maybe I'll distract him. Tell me about the war.
Not our finest hour.
All right. Well, he made his ego roll before, and he fails it now.
Boy.
Right. So he starts to tell you about it, but then he starts to actually start interacting with his memories in such a fashion that he reveals that he's already set up the fuel canisters that he's found here as an explosive. That he can says it's fine. We'll fire the place and then we can run. When he does this,
I tried that idea before. It's not a good idea.
Right. Right. When he does this, he bulks up, and he doesn't look a lot like you. I mean, he's big, but it's more of a shapeless effect rather than a brawny one. And he's not tentacular. He doesn't have tentacles coming out. Instead, he's leaving slime wherever he goes. and also is running in a kind of a feral way, with his limbs are disproportionate and changing a lot, so that he like slaps the ground a lot as he runs and stuff like that. And in the meantime is he's real determined. He's going to go and blow up those canisters now. He says, run into the forest. I'll blow these up. Don't worry, I won't be hurt. I can take. He says, no problem.
Okay. I'm going to have to get in between him and the canister. Guys, we have to get out of here. This place is a bomb.
Right. Several things happen. Tweaky pulls in her truck. Out there at the front. You guys have got, I think by now, at least half of the people have been tended to, or so. Or more, perhaps. Let's say you're finishing up with getting the people a good distance away. Hieroglyphic walls have kept them from running into this exact area of difficult old superhero person. It's 12. What do we do? Ross's warning has communicated everything to everybody.
Okay.
Who goes first?
Dexterity. Silverbeak.
21.
23?
20.
20. Quall's first. Y'all are slow.
Okay.
So you said you're going to interpose yourself.
I'm going to try and get in between him and wherever he's running to. Kind of a wall of tentacles, probably trying to rear over him. And then I'm going to say, sort of thing my brother would say, hold it there, soldier. You've got to think about what your orders are.
Okay, so again, this is a presence attack. In combat -1, display of powers, and then very appropriate powers at +2, so that's +1. Pretty good monologue, so I'll give you 2 dice for that. That'll do.
Okay. Might be worse than the last one. 24.
Much better. Okay. This is where he hesitates, and everybody else gets to go before he does. The next person to go is going to be Silverbeak.
So, what's the deal with the hostages? Am I done with that?
Yeah,
or not?
they're at the very least, they're running in the right direction.
All right.
And they weren't really hostages; they were prisoners. He never threatened or hurt
Yeah,
them.
I keep confusing the words.
That's okay, but go on. Yeah.
Expecting to blow them up, but
Well, he's going to blow the place up.
All right, so I try to fly towards the thing he's about to explode and get that out of the way. You said it was a canister of fuel.
It's actually a
like that?
whole, but it's several different fuel tanks. And also, he seems to be knowledgeable enough to have amassed precisely the right chemicals from the different sheds to put with them.
So it's
chemistry.
Oh, fuck.
He's pretty
All
good
right.
at demolitions and munitions, after all, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So right, I fly.
Yeah, you fly over, take a look, at what you're looking at, and you're going, "Oh no!"
Well, I start.
Someone who knew what they were doing set that stuff up.
Well, I start flying around it, trying to create a whirlwind of dust around the thing.
That's a pretty good special effect. Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
I got 13, and my acrobatics.
Your acrobatics is actually a 13, so that's good. Okay, so yeah. So what that means is that you are doing this. You're going to get over there. Costs you 2 endurance. To do this is going to cost you all your flight endurance, and it's kind of hard. So with a stunty thing like this, you're going to burn about 8 endurance to do this. All right.
All right.
Good. Now, next person is going to be the Scarab.
I'm going to wave off Tweaky to get back from the potential blast area, and try to. Boy, this is a rough situation. What am I? Okay, am I seeing Crawl and
Yes.
Manowar and the blast zone?
Yes.
Okay.
And currently,
then I
as
will-
far as I'm aware, you're not flying because you were walling.
Right.
So I
Well-
presume you were up on top of a building, one of the shed things.
Sure. So I'll dome off the bomb
Right.
with a force wall
Ah, you're going to put the dome over it.
over the actual bomb.
Yeah, not bad. Okay. So, so that's actually a pretty good idea right there. So great. And now Manowar is going to punch Crawl.
Oh.
And although he's not really particularly quicker, he is very skilled fighter.
Makes sense.
So as you might expect, and so basically surprises you with just a beautiful, right uppercut.
Military standard sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He wades in, and you're like, okay, he's going to hit me, and then he's already done it. So let's take a look at that, shall we? Starting with that. Because there's that, which isn't exactly the worst amount of strength to be hit with in the world. Although it's not great.
But it triggers my susceptibility.
Yes, we'll get there in just a moment. So actually, this isn't going to hurt very much. This is the punch part. 23 stun and 7 body, which you should be able to bounce most of that, I think, right?
My physical defense is 23. So
Say that again. Oh yeah. So actually, you are going to be knocked back 2 inches, or which is to say about 12 feet. So you're going to be knocked back against.
Knocked back resistance. Of
In that case. Right. So yes, in that case, you're not going to be knocked back. All right. So.
But there's a big ripple of force being distributed through my body.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then my tentacles wriggle around a bit.
Yes. And it's a very it's a great picture, right? Brutal super combat there. But now for the fun part is the secondary attack that comes with his punch, which is a sting.
Ooh.
Yes. And so this is a completely different animal. This is going to be So this is 12 points of no normal defense damage. So that's going to be just 12 points straight off the stun. And now for the susceptibility,
Yes.
which is going to be 8 points of stun. and 2 body that don't recover. So,
have I had time to recover any of the body from when Scorpion beat me up last?
yes, you have.
You say 2 points of body, or?
Mm-hmm. And now that I think about it, actually, you're vulnerable to these powers. So we got to back up.
Okay.
You took 2 times stun from the punch.
Okay.
So that's 23 points of stun that did come off.
Okay.
So you stopped 23 points of it, but the other 23 points on top of that came in. That's what's going to happen to you when it comes to illusions one of these days, Rod.
So my constitution is 23.
Right, so you're stunned. Right. So, you are, you've been
reeling, not moving and not back.
Yes, exactly. You're reeling and disoriented from the punch.
And in pain from the horrible sting.
Yes, exactly. So you realize that you're up against somebody who does dreadful damage. This is somebody who could take on like 5 people, 10, 12 soldiers and just wade right into them, doing havoc left and right.
Yes.
So that is the last go in segment 12, and that puts. I'm sorry, Rod. Did I miss you?
Tweaky and Jennifer not going?
Tweaky is going, and she's already basically she's pulled up in the truck.
Okay.
That's her situation. She is, if she's doing anything at the moment, she's basically wheeling the truck around and is going to start backing it toward you guys slowly.
Okay.
But that she's just initiating that action right now. Jen
Jennifer
is cradled in Man of War's other arm.
Oh, fuck. Mm-hmm. So let me get one thing straight, because I'm not sure if I heard
her.
What?
He's rescuing her.
Yes. So I'm not sure because Rod cuts off for me. So he told the hacker girl to go out or to stay in and
just to keep out of that particular, just to stay out of that particular area.
But we have the track to escape if we want.
Well, so far.
So far. All right.
You have a truck. Whether you will have the truck is a completely different question, because you know how Champions Game Masters feel about trucks.
Oh, really? I guess I'm about to find out.
All trucks are airborne, I imagine.
That's. They are. They're obviously for throwing. I mean, what else do you do with it? So, all right. What then?
Gets there first.
Mm-hmm. So what then? Here we go. Segment 1, nobody goes. Segment 2, I think.
Segment 12, recoveries.
Yes. Take your recoveries.
I'm stunned. Do I get to recover?
You do get to recover from being stunned, and you get your post. Well, wait. Hold on. No.
I thought I don't get to recover from being stunned. I have to have a turn for that. Then, so.
Correct. You get your post segment 12 recovery numerically. That's all you get.
That sounds fair enough.
Yeah. So I think that brings both Santiago and Raw back up to par. Correct?
Par, yeah.
So
I didn't understand, but I think I'm at 38 endurance now.
Okay, good. Now, we then...
Not 40. 40 is my...
Got it. Okay, perfect. So then segment 1. Segment 2. Segment 3 is, I think, when everybody goes. First person, Crawl. Crawl has to recover.
Yes.
Right. So take your recovery. And so then the next person to go is...
I don't get to do actual recovery after it's not stunned, is that right?
No, that's correct.
I don't get to...
Right. That's an action, is to take the recovery. Yeah. So yes, you recover from being stunned, which is unfortunate because that means he gets to do something because he goes next. And so... what's that?
You're going to punch me in the face again, I expect.
Well, he could, but the reason he had to wait until everybody else was done was because of the presence attack. This time he's not presence attacked.
Yeah.
So he is going to... he's going to go and pound on the force wall.
He needs to do 8 body.
Right. Well, he didn't have the
As far as
dice
I
to
know.
do 8 body, and he rolled 1-1, but he also rolled 2 6s. So he gets exactly 8 through the vagaries of body rolling.
Yeah.
And so yes, he does. He smashes that. Now he has burned a shitload of endurance. So let me manage that a little bit. Everybody can see that he is just expending extraordinary amounts of energy at this point. So he, crunches the force wall, but he doesn't like go through it or tear it apart, or he basically shatters 1 hex of it.
Okay.
It takes everything he's got to do this. He doesn't
That's
just
the
go.
wall.
He doesn't just walk through it, right?
Right.
So-
Gotcha.
So that's the wall. He's getting out through that wall, right?
No,
No,
The
he's
wa-
getting at the bomb.
right.
for-
He had what Scarab had done
your
was to
wall. Oh,
Right.
my
fuck.
wall. Yeah.
right exactly yes. So that puts the next person to go as Silverbeak.
All right. So, while still embedded in a cloud of dust, I whispered to Michael using the free talking thing we have. We need to put him to sleep ASAP. We need to get him in the truck fast. And then I fly towards Man of War.
Right. Who is at present? It's not as good as the darkness power, but he is like he was able to just jump there and like punch the thing by feel. But he is, you can tell he can't see well. He's like how you can't like orient toward where the explosives are very well.
Yeah, but I'm going to presence attack the fuck out of him. I come down and I do that wisp of air. Suddenly the dust parts and I'm there hovering over him, and I am saying enough. Darren, what's his name?
Darren, yeah.
Enough, Darren. You are enough, Darren. Oh, and I am without my mask.
Right, good idea.
Enough, Darren. You're putting everyone in danger. Enough, Darren. We are already in too much danger. We need to run now, and I point to the truck. We are not safe here. Let's go.
All right. Well, you're in combat, so that's -1. He has no idea who you are. That's minus. Actually,
Fuck.
well, no, he knows who you are, but actually, he doesn't trust you one bit. That doesn't help at all.
Yeah. I know.
So that's -1. And then also, but that's a pretty good. You're in danger, etc. There's nothing wrong with your monologue or anything like that. You've displayed your powers nicely. That's +2. And furthermore, he's not inclined to do this in the slightest. He's got his own plans. So go ahead, but that doesn't change the dice. Just it changes what he does. You go ahead and roll your presence exactly as written. 4 dice.
All right.
Because
So-
everything balances out.
Yeah. So 20 presences means 5 dice, right?
4.
4 dice. All right. Yeah, 13. I got 14.
Right. Okay. So he. So that's your action. And it is going to have an effect that these 3 dice will tell us. Well, Silverbeak, nobody can fault your tactics. It's just I keep making characters who, with the wrong roll or whatever, are just not the right ones. Remember what he was like in the tank when he was basically all gloopy and all these tentacles went all over the place and everything like that? Mm-hmm. That's what happens. He basically deliquesces into this massive, massive puddle. Way more fluid than you think he possibly could have contained. And from which all sorts of like amorphous pseudopods and stuff start like rising up. And these basically the Jen is like rolling in it and she screams no, and she's shouting, Darren, listen, at him. So Scarab.
Oh, why did it have to be me? God, what a nightmare situation.
Yeah. He's got 2 enrages, basically. Kick off the 1 enrage, and he goes into the... Okay. He's got an irrational psychological limitation about the past, about being in or out of the past.
Right.
If it triggers, then he's in his irrational mode. Being in his irrational mode makes it really easy for him for his first enrage to kick off.
Okay.
When he's in those conditions, then the second rage kicks off if he receives a presence attack.
Oh.
I mean, like I said, it was a really good idea. You did exactly the right thing. Everything. It's just, this guy's a disaster. So.
All right. Well. All right. Action. VPP. Skill check. Got it. Change to as much telekinesis as I can get in there and telekinese Jen out of
40 points. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Do I need to roll to target her, or?
You don't need to roll to target her. She's pretty easy to get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need to beat the body of the sticky goo that she's in. She's in an entangle.
Ah.
So roll your 8 dice of telekinesis. Spend the endurance.
Okay.
8 points.
Telekinesis is adequate for me.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like
it's raw strength.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm looking for body. Oh my god. Well, that's 7. 7 body.
Excellent. All right. You got 7, and he again rolled a 6. He's actually not as strong as you. The entangle isn't as strong as your telekinesis, but the vagaries of the dice play with that. So you have matched it, and so she is basically being lifted out, but is still stuck. Oh, great. She's like levitating off the ground, and there's all these like filaments that are still solid enough to kind of keep her, stuck there. Well, some of them are snapping, and other ones aren't letting go. She doesn't get very far off the ground. You're busy there, like, lifting with whatever effect you're using.
Little harpies, like sphinx-headed harpies, or.
Burn some endurance for more strength on your telekinesis if you want. Burn some endurance if you want.
Ooh,
you can spend
awkward?
You can spend 1 for 1 for 10 more points.
I understand. Do I need the full? Is that the thing where I can go 5? No, it's not enough. 4.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
So is 5 enough?
Yes. So what? 5 endurance and well, wait. No. What that does is it allows you to roll 1 more die for see how the body goes.
Oh, I see what you're. All right, I'll go whole hog.
Right, you don't want to roll a 1 right now, do you? Yeah.
1 body.
See, good thing you spent the extra endurance, right? So 10 more endurance is burned, and up Jen goes with 50 points of strength, whipping her up into the air, which is a lot. So you can really get her the hell out of there.
Okay.
But I like that. That was a classic not sure if I can do it moment, which is very enjoyable.
Yeah.
So
Have you
cool.
actually added more harpies in game? I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
two's not enough.
Right.
A third one, like.
Yeah.
Extra
Exactly.
lines of legal rationale for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Perfect. So, but that really wears you down, I think. Right? Your endurance must be tanking. So, well, you spent 8 for the telekinesis.
Yeah, I mean that takes out 18 endurance, but I've got 48
Oh well, darn.
because I'm deep in the Constitution.
That's true. We'll see what we can do about that shit.
Well.
Yeah. Okay.
You mean by rewriting the game, or
No. I was just thinking of more like
yes.
as many more endurance drain attacks as I can figure out to throw in. Sort of becoming I'm trying not to make it a signature villain ability of having drain endurance, but it's so damn tempting. So
Yeah, now that endurance is
no
so
ideas
important.
to hit for villains.
yeah. Well, it's a good effect to throw on as an extra attack on all kinds of different.
exactly, it's really
Yeah.
the idea being that maybe his punch isn't getting through your defenses, but he's wearing
But
you
it's
down.
very tiring to
Yeah.
take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead.
That's a good idea if I ever make a strong character.
I am all about the strong these days.
I
When-
read your.
When he did that dive get down thing, he was actually using what was effectively a force wall. If you're a big strong character, get force wall and give it the special effect of when you stand in front of
You're
others.
literally
Right?
Yeah,
And that way, like area attacks and stuff like that coming in.
You're like Colossus.
Right. And you often wondered, like, these guys aren't agile. Are they actually, like, catching all the missiles? No, they just stand there, and for some reason, they all bounce off their body. And so the effect is technically force wall. No range.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so, I mean, all you have to do is, like, do the block maneuver.
Right.
And that's all there is to it. And that's a defensive reactive maneuver. So that means you
it's
can step in front of people on someone else's attack to do it. That's all there in the rules. It's awesome. So, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, the rules are better than I ever played them in the past. In terms of all these things.
Awesome.
So let's go to that's the end of segment 3, right? Segment 4, nobody goes. Segment 5, Crawl is first.
Okay. How far away is the truck from?
The way I see it is that he had piled up the fuel stuff behind the office-y little shack that's fairly close to the entrance.
Okay.
There's a big kind of not particularly well-defined parking lot with a few logs set down for people to park up against. So it's not like it's partly paved, but it's that beat up paving that's partly dirt.
Yeah.
And so he pulls up. That she's in that parking area, but the fuel stuff that's all set to blow up is behind that building.
Right. Okay.
So she's closer than you might like, but she was warned not to get too close. What she has done, as of now, she can go in segment 4. She's got a speed of 3. So during segment 4, what she did was like turn the truck around so that its back is pointing toward you guys, but she hasn't like put it in reverse and pulled it straight up to the battle area. She's not. She got that message from Michael.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, but she's positioning it in some way so that you can get access to the tank or get in or whatever it is you want to do. kind of keeping her head, which is good. So, Kroll, what do you do?
I am going to move over to the truck and pick up the big tank off the back of it.
Excellent. So,
Tweak. In the direction I walk, right?
Tweak.
Hi.
Right.
Long story.
Right. Tweak. I mean, and even especially because you probably super leap over there, right?
I don't have super leap. I can leap if you like, but
right. Well, you can also use your stretching.
I could for speedy, tentacly crawling across the floor sort of thing.
Spend your strength endurance, so that's 8 endurance.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that'll put you there almost as fast as a teleport, basically.
Okay, if you like that.
And so, and it also keeps you from having to do a full move. That's where they see these extra limbs are awesome, right?
Yeah.
You actually, it's not just the plus OCV. With the stretchy tentacles, that justifies covering that much distance.
Right.
Because I can basically just add the stretch to the move, see? And so that means that it's just a half move. So so that gives you time to like grab it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So she, basically, is sticking her head out the window and has this look of shock on her face, which basically, transforms almost to admiration as, "You bastard!" Right? And so...
I had that coming.
Right? And so... but you're there. You're on the tank, and you've got half a move, and you got a half move. You got a half action left.
Okay. I think I'm tempted just to throw the tank at him, but I'm going to rip it open first. So that's presumably the end of that move.
Right. So there you go. Spend more endurance to rip it open, and that's your action this time. That's the end of 5 for you. Next is going to be whatever it is we want to call Man of War at this point. And so he is going to, let's see, so you're right there, flying there. You are, I think, Scarab, you're probably out of his immediate range, right? I mean, you're still...
that's what I understood. I'm
right.
like on a building with Jennifer Edwards.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you've got her out of there. Okay. So what he's going to do is he's going to try to entangle Silverbeak.
Of course.
Right. So
you were right, Brian. He does have a bond with you.
Yeah.
However, you've got your. This is your choice. You've got a gummy attack enveloping you, a gummy wave seizing you. The question is whether you want to go acrobatic to increase your. Do you want to dodge and be acrobatic to decrease the chance that he gets you? If you do, you'll lose your action this phase.
And what's the other option?
Just to see if your ordinary defense will keep him from getting you. And basically it's, do you want to optimize your defense or not? It's up to you.
No.
Okay. So, roll to hit. So he's got a 7, and you've got a DCV of 7, I believe, unmodified. Defensive combat value. So, because you've got a dexterity of 20.
Yes, my dexterity is 20,
right.
And it's the CB in the corner, it's 7.
Right.
CB is the same?
So you've got, you've got 7 on 7, which means he needs an 11 or less to hit. He rolls a 12.
Oh, fuck.
No, that's good. He misses you.
Oh, yes, you're right.
11 or less, right?
Yes, 11 or less.
So,
awesome.
Right. Yes, so you very narrowly evade,
I was about to say, if you want to make me keep burning endurance, Ron, having everyone get stuck in these entangles would be a way to do it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm sort of annoyed because I really liked the idea of Silverbeak getting gummed up and stuck in the gunk, but that happened to him already, remember?
Again. It would have been hilarious if it happened again.
Yeah, but it actually makes a lot of sense for it not to have. We can even have a little thought balloon. It's like, not this time, right?
Yeah.
So, right. So then finally Silverbeak gets to go, and you keep your action because you didn't go full defense.
I'm out of there.
That's enough of this. Right.
I'm flying off. I'm going to the perimeter. I want to see if the army guys are here already. It seems about time. We have double is the word. We have
Good thinking.
lost enough time already.
At the moment, you do not see any vehicles arriving. At the moment.
Good.
Rod.
I will attempt to telekinese the gathered assorted parts of Manowar into the tank.
Okay. A couple of things. First of all, considering the amount of growth that he has in this particular form. Yeah, he's spreading over quite a few hexes at this point. Yeah, but it's not impossible. You've got the strength chart there, I believe, right behind you.
So does telekinesis go straight to 1-to-1 to strength?
Yeah.
Like it's 40 strength?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so it's a 40 strength throw, a 40 strength grab, a 40 strength lift.
Yeah. So that's 6 tons.
And growth, 4 levels of growth, I believe, is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 8 times mass, 16 times.
So the mass isn't the problem.
Yeah, exactly. You've got more than enough strength for the mass, is what we just figured out. So yes, you lift the gloopy glob up.
Right.
And I'm going to say it's a little tricky to.
That seems credible.
Yeah, it's a little tricky to kind of keep this all sort of together. So how am I going to work with that? At the moment, we'll worry about that in a minute.
Check?
What's that?
Or is it not a grab?
It is, yeah. I mean, it is a grab.
That's obviously nothing you could.
You know what? Make a roll to hit. Use it for the grab. But considering how big it is, it's not that hard. So it's against basically just a DCV of 3, I think.
Okay.
So 7 on 3.
All right. I was just.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, no
that's
problem.
it.
Yeah. So I think that's the most sensible way to do it. Do you actually grab him up correctly is sort of the idea.
Well, I was thinking in terms of you might consider trying to stuff it in the tank of fine manipulation tasks, which require it.
You're not at the tank yet.
Or not at the tank, so
right. So
doing all that. Oh,
right.
Because it's an attack, so it's boom. That's it. Yeah.
Well, you're allowed to grab and throw in a single action.
I don't think I want to
throw. Right. Okay, so you got it lifted, and I'm going to say you've got it traveling over to the proper place.
Okay.
I mean, at the you get a significant distance of the way there. I mean, telekinesis is not just grabbing. You got to be. I allow you to move it, right? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's ridiculously slow.
All right. Can I have some chit chat? Can I say?
Yeah.
Glad to see you're not hurt, Jin. Did you get through to him at all?
And she says, "Yes, I think I did, but he's really bent. I mean, we're going to have to work hard together on this." She also says, this not superpowered person in the middle of all this, it sucks.
It looks like you have something in mind.
She's saying something like, Quirrell could be my sidekick.
Oh.
She could be creepy and you could be Quirrell. That's great, right?
I'm not arguing.
All right. I think that's a good conversation beat.
She's just thinking. So then that's the end of 6. 7, nobody goes. 8. Quirrell is first. You've got the tank is ripped open. You can do with it what you want. Circumstances have changed slightly because the mass of goop with tentacles
Is now in the air.
is
It's
now in
headed
the
the
air,
other way, yeah.
floating directly toward you.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, here. Oh, my goodness. Take 14 stun.
Oh, God.
Okay. Right. Okay. That puts me on 0 stun.
Oh, no.
Shit.
Right. You're
I
like...
think I was destructive as well.
Well, the what's fun about that is that here you were, you'd ripped it open, and you're like, I hope I can withstand this long enough to get this where I want it, and you just go face down. It sprawls on all over. It's like slams on the bottom of the truck. It's like oozing off the end of the truck. You're face down in it. You're just like, completely. And you, Michael, you can see it.
Right.
Crawl basically is like ready to go, and then his eyes just cross and he goes down. All right, so next.
Tweaky, Brian, drag Finn away from there and get him his serum.
That's Jennifer says, yeah, that's a problem.
Oh, God.
So the next is, that was the beginning of 8. Next is the Gunk. Man of War. What is he going to do? Right. I'm going to rule that from his position, and considering that you're sending him in that direction anyway, it's actually not going to require an escape just to extend out into where you're sending him anyway.
Oh, okay.
Right.
He's going for the tank.
Yes, he's going for the tank, and unfortunately, easily makes his attack roll on Finn's inert body, and it basically starts to, enwraps him in tentacles and is going to begin to absorb him.
Okay.
Right. So, Ross.
Well, I'm on 9, so...
Right, I know. But Silverbeak is next.
Am I taking any more damage from this? I suppose I should.
No, you don't.
Can he do his...
Well, I was near
super
the
recovery?
track probably, so I freak out and yell, Brian, what do I do? What the fuck?
You're Brian.
Well, you're Brian.
No, I mean, sorry, I meant Michael.
Here.
Right.
Michael, what
First
do I
of all, we should probably start using code names. Second of all,
Now it's not the time for that, Brian. Michael. Oh, but I put on my mask again.
All right. Okay. Go on.
I think... Oh, well, it's on his action, so I have to come up with a speech balloon.
He's eating.
See if... Do your... Try to reach out to his mind and calm him down. That's what you do.
Okay, here goes nothing. So let's see if I can do something that a smarter way. I go. How do you say? To the bottom of the track, like between the wheels.
Yeah, I get
under
it.
the track. Yes.
Right.
It's funny. After 2 hours of English, it all gets lost.
I understand. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's
my
fatiguing.
endurance is
Right,
down.
my endurance is going down. Right.
Stealthily, or I fly out to the bottom, under the track. So from there, I try to telepathy.
Right.
I can't do anything, but I see where I can hear.
Right, I get it.
But I hope I'm safely away from the tentacles.
Good point. Roll 3d6.
It's 6.
That's actually a really good hit. Go ahead and roll your 3 dice.
So, I will be rolling.
3 dice.
3 dice. 5, 7.
7. All right. Yeah, you're having trouble picking up the surface thoughts. So you needed 10. So
Oh.
well, that's the problem with that power, real variable in effect. So that's the end of 8. Let's take it to segment 9, and that's Michael.
Okay.
I screamed to Michael, "It's not working!"
Right.
Yeah. All right. BPP roll again. That is a success. And so I'm changing to, I looked this up earlier, 5 dice of ranged endurance drain. It's
Nice.
kind of and I feel like this is kind of an Anubis thing,
Yeah.
appearing to suck the breath out of his, well, he's got no mouth.
Close enough. Close enough.
I'd
So
like
that-
to see the look on Anubis' face.
Ew.
The mouth.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
man.
Yeah.
So that's a roll to hit.
Yes. But it's pretty easy. It's just DCV 3.
Okay, so just, yeah, all right, that's fine. Here's the 5 dice of endurance. That is a 21 endurance drained.
Wow, that's going to do it. That is going to do it. Okay, so on 10, the first person to go is Crawl. So Crawl, you can...
According to the rules, I take my recovery, which puts because I'm on 0 stun.
Yeah, that's correct. And I have slightly easier rules.
Okay.
There is no negative stun in the new rules. You're just taken down to 0. The first time that you're taken down to 0 stun, you're given a free recovery next, for both endurance and stun.
Okay.
And your endurance
Does
dropped. What's that?
Oh, no, go ahead. I was going to ask.
Your endurance dropped to 0 with your stun, so therefore you currently have your recovery in both. If you're taken down to 0 again, you're not going to get back up this fight.
Okay.
That's how it works. So no more counting the seconds of your recoveries to find out how long before you revive and all that nonsense. That's over. Knock them down 2 times, they don't get up in Champions now.
Prowlers and Paragons has a similar thing.
Yeah?
Never looked at that.
Excellent. Ross, you have taken your recovery and that's what you can do.
Yes.
Get out of there, Crawl.
Yes, I'd love to.
I'm really sorry to tell you this, that the vulnerability or the susceptibility, is kicking in again. And so that's going to be in, according to my roll, 11 stun and 3 body.
Well,
Okay.
there he goes again.
I don't think so.
I'm not stunned this time.
Right.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah, he can make it. He can make it this time. Yeah.
I have 2
Uh-huh.
stun left.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is a huge recover.
Yeah. Well, he is. He's brawny, and he's also.
Right, because of this thing.
Right. This is the sort of the willpower, try to drag yourself free situation going on here.
Yeah.
I mean, Superman is pretty lame against the Kryptonite, right? He does
Yeah.
flop around and
Yeah,
look
he's not-
woeful and
not
everything and all that stuff. So next is going to be Man of War, but Man of War is kind of an interesting situation right now. He's burned all this endurance. His endurance has dropped to 0, and now he's going to basically burn stun to do what he's doing.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
I'm really going to have to take this guy to the mat.
So yeah, he hasn't taken any stun from damage.
Right.
So he just burns a ton of it to use his endurance. And so can't keep it up for long, but the question is, what is he going to do to Finn?
Right.
And so, yeah, what he's going to do, he's I'm trying to think of the best power for this. Hold on a second. How much body do you have left? I'm kind of curious.
7.
Well, you're going to lose. God, he rolls awfully on the. I mean, he rolls really, really well on his body dice, I have to admit. Again, way better than the dice would indicate. 4 of those, non-destructive, are drained.
Okay.
So he's doing a body drain on. Or sorry, transfer. He's doing a body transfer.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right. So, oh wait. In that case, hold on a second. It's going to be less dice. Transfer's more expensive. 2, not 4.
Okay.
So he does a body train. Now that is going to, yeah, that's what's up.
Body transfer.
Ow!
Yeah. So basically he's going to try to kill Finn by completely absorbing all the body to himself.
Oh, gross.
My face and a tentacle are like desperately reaching out of this thing that's trying to absorb me.
That's right.
Ugh.
Exactly. So next, we have. Oh, and let me see if he can. Let's see if he recovers from his enrage.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Okay. Yes. He now has a monologue. Help me! Help me! My name is Darren. Help me! I'm human. I swear. Please help me.
Holy crap! All right.
Oh, I just made everybody feel bad. That's great.
You're really, yeah, pulling us in all directions, man.
Damn.
No, why did he have to be sympathetic? All right, where are we at in terms of this?
Well, that was the top of 10, I believe, right? And so the next Silverbeak is next.
Oh well. Is the hacker girl still at the wheel of the truck?
Yes, she is.
All right. So.
Yeah, actually, she during 8. I forgot to say what she said during 8. She jumped out of the cab and jumped up onto the side of the truck. She seems to have something in a backpack that she's messing with.
All right. So I take my head out of the under
Right.
the truck and go. Hacker girl, what you doing?
And she says, I have a neutralizer I can use on him, I guess. I hope I don't kill him.
Is there any way?
Look at me.
Is there any way I can help?
Yeah, she says. Yeah, there is. Fly me up there.
Up inside the truck?
No, up. There is no inside the truck. It's a flatbed pickup. Or a pickup
Yeah,
with a...
Oh,
with
yes,
a rim.
I forgot.
Yeah.
All right. So,
I just love the idea of the
sure.
driving along the highways with like Jen hanging out in the back with the tank. I just likes that image. So,
I thought it had a ceiling. All right. So, sure. I fly her, of course.
excellent. So up you go, and she is like shaking out her backpack, with all this like substances coming out of it, on top of all the madness in the back. So cool. That's actually not too bad actually, because A, it means that she's not seized and entangled and absorbed.
All right.
And B, it means that you can cover more of the surface area.
Good.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
And that's
Um,
an action.
Yeah. So that's the end of 10.
Interesting.
11, nobody goes. 12, from the top. You are barely conscious, Crawl.
Yeah, that's fair.
What are you going to do?
So I'm also submerged in a ball of Glupeus Man of War. I am going to. I would like to try and stretch out tentacles, grab onto the truck, which I think is kind of nearby, and wrench myself out of being inside it. It seems like a bad place to be.
Spend 8 endurance, or however many endurance you can without going unconscious.
I'm spending 9 endurance then.
All right, then.
Bigger than I was.
Oh, excellent, excellent, yes. So,
11 endurance.
exactly. So you right, and so you get yourself out of there. Even though the rules don't demand it, I'm going to say you're a little wobbly when you land.
I'm often a little wobbly, that
Yes.
being the nature of being a joker. But yes.
And so, and also that means that you only get a little bit of the neutralizer on you, which is good.
Good.
It's just begun to shower down on you, so you don't get a full dose of it. That's a very good thing, actually. And so, then you have Man of War, who reforms into that kind of intermediate shape that's all gluey and humanoid and big, like a couple levels of growth. And he is, and he's babbling. He's saying, got to get her out of here. Got to blow the joint. Got to get her out of here. They're everywhere. And so he's like in full combat mode at this point. And so then he rolls, see about his second recovery, to see if he can recover from that state, but he doesn't. So then he does not finally come back to his ordinary human state. 8 or less, rolled an 11. So then the next person to go is Silverbeak, and then finally Brian. So what do you do? Well, you've already put the stuff down there. Let's have this effect be your action, and you can come. Let me describe what happens first of all.
Yeah.
So what happens is that the substances in question. Let me make her intelligence roll. Make sure that she's not totally wrong. Bonus.
Oh dear.
Rolls a 10. So no problem.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
I figure she's pretty bright, so she's got a 14 or
Yeah.
less, and ends up with a 10. So that's good. So the chemistry works, and he basically, in this state, basically begins to become so solidified that he can barely move. He basically topples. Thud. And he's still mumbling. He's like, name, rank. He says he's stating his name, rank, and serial number over and over and over again because you're trained not to say anything else. So Silverbeak, what do you actually do?
I asked the girl where does she want me to put her down in the ground.
She says, "We're getting out of here in the truck. Is that right?"
I shrug.
She says,
So
well,
I fly her to the driver's seat.
right. She says, "Okay, hey, listen, fly up there and tell me, if anybody's like coming behind us or something, guide us somewhere else, okay?"
Somewhere else? Fuck. All right.
She's saying that
Sure.
if you see like a convoy or police vehicles or something,
Oh,
Big Humvees
damn.
or
then guide
It was
us.
an if-then proposition. I get
Right,
it now.
right. So
So yeah, This is good. What's the status on the stuff that was going to blow up if someone got near it?
you can't see that right now. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later. Okay. So,
Right. So let's back up.
Right.
Where's Michael? What's Michael doing? Where's
well, that's
Shen?
the next.
Where's
Right.
everybody?
So, Michael, what do you do?
To clarify, is Man of War secured in the tank, or is he still?
He's not in the tank. The busted up tank, a fair amount of the fluid, and the interesting chemical reaction, which currently is beginning to give off immense vapors, is occurring in the back. But Tweaky is at the cab and is conferring with Brian about something. Finn is over there, a fair distance from the truck, looking like somebody beat him to death with a bat. And
Understood. What I care about now is there a reasonable possibility that getting him in the tank is still worthwhile? Is the tank still
the back
usable?
of the truck is now a tank.
The back of the truck is now okay. A tank as in this can actually keep him suspended? Okay.
You don't have the science for that. He's in there in a pile of drying goop.
Excellent.
I'll tell you what. Oh boy.
I'm sure we're making things better, really.
You know what? I'm just gonna go to Finn. All right. Fly down to Finn and throw some. Well, this is gonna be. I'm gonna fly down to Finn and change up my VPP, and then next time around I'll get something.
Roll.
Where's Shen? Oh,
with Scarab.
That's actually a fail on the VPP roll. So
Oh man. Okay. So
fly down to Finn.
yeah, you fly down to Finn. What do you want to say to him? Anything?
I just want to say to them, hold on, Finn. I'm going to get you together, and we're going to get out of here.
This is the last time we try and help this guy. It's too painful.
Fuck this guy.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, he doesn't want to.
That's all I
be
can
my
do.
friend.
Okay.
Was that my 9 or my 12?
That's 12.
That was my.
Everybody take a recovery.
Sure.
Did you leave Jen on the roof, by the way?
I take her with me.
Yeah, where is Shen?
I have it
That's
covered.
good.
Don't worry about it, guys. Jen is with Michael. She's never left Michael. Everything's fine.
That's all right.
Yeah, I
Okay.
forgot.
She basically flings her arms around Finn as soon as she touches the ground.
Okay.
Oh,
Supporting him.
Oh.
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Give me segment 3.
Mhm.
Kroll, what do you do?
So just so I'm clear, the body of Man of War has collapsed into the back of the truck.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Finn, don't do anything crazy. You need to rest.
So yes, I am.
Word balloon.
I'm going to. You guys get in the truck and get out of here. It's probably best I don't get too close. And someone's got to do something about that bomb. So I'll be, and I'll move in the direction of the back of the block. Locked. Something like that. Stagger, probably.
I didn't get it. He's
He's
staying
saying-
in the place.
Yes, he says,
I'm-
get out of here. He's going to go and neutralize the bomb.
I'm going to stay with him. I'm with you, man. I mean, if
Yeah.
anything goes wrong, you're going to need me to get you out of the explosion.
Brian, I can get him out. I've got a beetle, and I can heal him. So why don't you escort the truck? I'll take care of Finn.
Because if anything happens, we need your combat capabilities. What if the army people come after Man of War? We'll be fine. We'll just fly out in any case. Come on, go with the truck. We
All right,
fought
all
for
right.
this. Go with Man of War.
Both of you, go with
All
the
right.
truck.
Ah,
Look after Jen and Tweaky. Leave this to me.
Look, I'm not going with the truck. You guys, you two can do whatever you want. Leave the girls alone in the truck with the stuff.
Jen's
I'm going
looking
to go.
across at all three of
I'll
you
go
and
with
just
the truck.
says, you guys need a chain of command.
Jen, come with me. to the
She
truck.
says, I'm not ordinarily into this military shit, but that was actually a pretty good idea.
Well, I think Finn's got the best head of us right now, right here. So, Jen, I'll take you and me. Will go with the truck.
She says, no problem, and hops up into the truck into the goop.
All right.
Right. I'll actually get in the passenger seat of the truck.
Right.
And
Right.
fiddle with my VPP.
Yes. Tweaky puts her foot down and says, hang on. And the entirely not particularly impressive truck peels out. So, Rod, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say I'm gonna try to work up some sort of calming or tranquilizing effect, and I don't know how deep we need to get into that, but
Actually, that's pretty good timing. With Jen back there talking to him and with you doing that, I think that's going to do it.
Okay.
It's all you really have to do is just keep him occupied long enough so that he can finally get that recovery roll,
Okay.
which sooner or later is going to happen. In fact, it happens right now. So,
Okay.
So basically, he's going to be pretty manageable, but very, very scared. He says, "I cannot control it. As soon as I lose my orientation, like of where we are, when I am, then I can't control myself. I feel I'm in combat, and I'm in enemy territory. And then when I, and then I can lose control of the powers.
Well, we need to get him. Let's
I've got
get
to
you.
find I've got to find a cure. If only I could keep it together long enough to find a cure."
We understand. We've got some scientific minds, and we can work on that. But for now, let's keep you oriented. Maybe just get you a newspaper.
Right.
Whenever you feel it slipping, you look at that newspaper.
What I don't understand, he says, is why did the army do that to me? That's why I keep thinking that I'm in the hands of the enemy. I keep thinking they're the enemy. That can't be right.
Well,
He says, I
There's-
don't understand. And you guys feel the full weight of the 20th century crash down on your heads, and you weren't
I was
even
gonna
born.
say,
You were barely even born in it.
It's the Cold War. Maybe it will make sense. But
Right. Okay.
what you need, my friend, is a history book.
He says,
not going to help the situation.
when he says, maybe. So, okay. And so as far as the bomb is concerned, you guys, there was no like little kitchen timer set to it or something like that. It was a chemical incendiary. So he would have had to go over there and actually, detonate it. Yeah. So, so it's not in the middle. It's not about to go off by itself or something like that. On the other hand, it's an incredible heap of really super dangerous chemicals in one spot, and so it's a good idea to, disperse.
Yeah.
But it's not as though you have to go over there and figure out which wire to cut or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's good. But you also recognize that, I mean, the people that you freed have been on their cell phones, certainly. And it's certainly time to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
With your guidance, with Brian's guidance, avoiding meeting the wrong people will be very easy. So you have somebody who can fly that fast and who can scan, can check out the area as you go.
Use stealth as well.
And you're super stealthy. So that means you fly exactly where they can't see you and everything like that. So yeah. So he's perfect for just driving out there safely, regardless of who's coming in. He's got that covered. With your variable power pool, augmenting that in any necessary way. I figure you're kept pretty busy with Man of War, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
En 10 minutos ya terminamos.
Yeah. So that should do it. So, Tweaky basically says, so aren't there any? She says, aren't there any girl superheroes? To Michael in the riding shotgun.
What?
She says,
What
aren't
did
there
she
any?
say?
She said, aren't there any girl superheroes?
Well, there's probably about to be.
Yeah. So, all right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
See
Yeah.
you.
Thanks for joining me again for all this stuff.